enough, today is day three something. 354. Yeah, let's go with that. Day 354. Alright, so we are continuing on with project number 8. La da 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 dee dee dee, la dee da dee da dee 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 da something. Da 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 da, la dee 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 dee. Typical. Project number 8. Let's crack open our example calculator, followed by... Yes, good, good, good. Followed by our code. Copied, blah, blah, blah. New tab. We're pasting you here. Let's crack open the developer console. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, and we're all the way down to line 183. So cool. Making progress bit by bit as we come together with this somewhat complex nightmare. It's still simple. It's just there's a lot involved. There's a lot of little pieces. And speaking of a lot of... Really? We just lost it forever? There's no moving over to reframing this window. This is just the world we live in. It's massive JavaScript. We'll never see the calculator ever again. I can't believe there's no resizing draggy bit on for JS Fiddle. Weird. What about settings? Auto close, indent with tabs, blah blah blah. Does that show in OBS what I'm looking at? It does, it does. Alright, fine. Not critical. Anyways, we will be continuing on with the following from somewhere around, well, let's just go straight to the bottom, and then we can work our way back up. Lots of memory.fun. Public methods. Function append. Its iffy goodness and all of the memory dot whatnot inside of it is what we will be tackling today. Prior to breaking new ground on day 354, 11 more days to go, right? Pretty freaking awesome. Oh, so cool. Now, we will revisit the little bit of iffiness we worked on yesterday. We do have more comments, which we usually do have quite a few comments from Topher on each of our past videos, which I had a chance to look at those prior to the stream. Yesterday was a bit different, where I sort of ran out of time moments before diving into the new stream. So we kind of just reviewed them live on the go. Some of the issues that were, or some of the comments and issues brought up were things that they weren't hugely critical, just more of further insight. So that's okay. We could, it was adjusting some of the stuff, like doing not is log empty, and a couple of things, changing how we have value weighted, just doing value equals, well, basically value equals sign, little minor tweaks, but that's okay. We've made a mental note, but for the time being, again, this is not going to be the world's best calculator, nor will it ever be, but for the general understanding, I think just the overall idea of this has started to sink in, which is what I was hoping for. A quick review of this noise, and then diving into append. So, without further ado, we will review. That almost rhymed. From the top, we have function is calc value valid. Taking the value as a parameter, we've got constant, log length, memory.log. If not value or value equals an empty string, we'll return false. If memory.reset or value equals C, screen.clear, return false. If log is empty and contains operator value, is log empty and value equals equal sign, or is log empty and value equals 0, return false. If memory.decimal and value equals decimal, return false. If contains operator value and decimal.index of memory.log.character at log length minus 1 does not equal -1, or equals.index value of value equals -1. If those things aren't showing up or present, also return false. Otherwise, return true. Cool. So here we go. Continuing on with the last function currently in our code. Not to say that we may not need to add more things, other tools, tricks, fun stuff like that. Following our handy guide that we've been following the last couple days, this would be the last sort of substantial function we need to add. We do have a couple other additional little tidbits, adding in the keyboard button click action event listener, tweaking and adding. I think we should add value to our HTML elements. Buttons or button elements to our HTML's button elements. That's what we're looking for. And a couple other little minor fixer-upper type things. Where is the beginning? Here it is. Something about public methods. Ta-da! Alright, children, gather round. Breaking new ground, day 354 commences with adds a number or operator to the calculator when a button is clicked. If equals is clicked, calculate the answer. If clear is clicked, reset the screen and memory. I think this is the point of the calculator and our JavaScript sort of build process where all of the loose ends that we've been stitching together are now going to all be tied together, and we should start to see some life in our calculator as we begin to interact with it once we complete all this noise. So, function append value. Are we at least up to speed there? We are. If is valid calc value, takes value parameter. Ours is slightly different because we have is calc, that's a v calc value valid. We could have just hit enter. I just wanted to type it out that first time for today. So we shake off the rust, come up to speed. Value indeed. Curly bits. La da da die. D D D D. Dum 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 dum. Dee dee da dum. Ah, out of the gates. Another nested if. Okay, so if calc value is valid, we're taking value. If the following is also true, if value 3 equals, then calculate the answer. Calculate the answer. Memory.answer. Calculate parse calc memory.log. I believe our calculate is equation. Parse calc, I think, is the same, and memory.log should be 1-to-1. if my memory serves correctly. Memory.answer. La da 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 dee 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 dee. Calculate. I really hope it is equation. I really don't want to misread that. Parse calc, parse calc. Memory.log. This gets a semicolon. This gets a couple other things. Memory.log as well. Memory.log equals memory dot answer. That is ask and we're not spelling correctly. And is not a number, is non memory answer. Okay. Followed by question mark of doom as we set up our ternary statement. Memory.answer to string or emptiness. Or, not or, else. Else. That's what it is. Dum 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 dum. Dee 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 dee. Lee dee 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 dee. Lee dee 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 dee. Next answer to string. We had to drop to string in a while, have we? Colon for you, an empty string for you, followed by a trusty semicolon. Let's see. Don't mind me. Hold the phone. There is a stupid thing on my computer. Some Adobe issue. Yeah. Perhaps. Aha, you know what we can do? We can make that. Yeah, do stuff with that. If it rears its ugly head, it should show up there. Continuing on. What are we doing? Hey, McGreenberg. How you doing? Man, the Star Wars. Oh, the humming and sounds. It's like a weird quirk. Yes, McGreenberg. It's like a weird quirk. But that's only recently, because, you know, we've had Star Wars on the mind because the new movie. I mean, we've run our fair share of Star Wars songs and humming throughout the year, but the worst case is still the Family Guy theme song. I'm pretty sure Topher's never gonna want to hear the Family Guy theme song ever again after this year of I think he's been the one most afflicted by it. Aside from me having to hear it in my mind even when I'm not humming it. But yeah, there's just the show tunes, it's part of the process. It is the background processing music of our mind. Oh my god, we put the because the stupid webcam is blocking exactly this portion. We put the semicolon inside the quotes. Who does that? Just ridiculous. Let's scoot it up just a little bit. We are looking for the following. McGreenberg, I'm doing good. Working on a project for a job application. Way cool. Well, that's awesome. McGreenberg, my deadline's tomorrow, so I'm in crunch time. Well, best of luck, and I'm certain you'll kick some serious ass. But yeah, way cool. Um, job stuff and developy things. I take it, I'm not sure because I haven't looked in. I mean, I've seen some of the general criteria as I've gandered at some developer openings and whatnot, just to sort of gauge and see what's needed, what kind of criteria, whether it's education or certificates. I don't know, just gauging the type of verbiage and criteria they use for experience, how advanced or how much sort of seniority type skill sets any given position is looking for. Again, I've got a background in HR, so I feel like I can pull a pretty good sense of what really any job, not just development, but most job applications. You can kind of get a pretty good insight into the company's HR and just even how the business is run and what they're looking for just from looking at their job postings, but that's a separate HR issue. Anyways, I was curious, projects and stuff. I have noticed on quite a few. Usually they usually have a link where you can post to like your portfolio or a website or even multiple links, not just social media or LinkedIn. And I know a lot of people, especially for developers and digital media arts, like graphic designers, anything where you might have or photographers where you might have a profile online. Usually there's a generic like link field. But aside from that, are there a lot of do developer jobs usually give you a project to work on, like the deadline that you're referencing? Is that common for most developer jobs, or is it just kind of hit and miss? Is it less? Um, is that something that you encounter less frequently as you go higher into the developer world, or is it something that you see more like something you see more frequently in the beginning stages of being a developer, or do you actually see more projects for applications requests beyond just whatever portfolio GitHub link they may ask for? Um, yeah, not really a clear question, but just sort of gauging all of that. So, McGreenberg, I don't think it's common. It was given to me as part of the coding interview. Okay, cool. Because I know, and I've seen, although I want to say I've seen both sides of it in different forums, but it actually seems like a fairly one sided view. Like writing on a whiteboard, apparently writing, I guess people request you to, they give you some type of issue or situation. They just want to see what you can magically draw out with the, I was going to say crayons, but that's what it seems like with the markers on the board. But it seems like in whatever online forums reflecting on whether a company ABC had a good interview process, things on like what is it, Glassdoor, where a lot of people don't really care for that kind of whiteboard testing scenario. I guess because it's not the one that I've seen is it's not really realistic. No one's when they're faced with becoming a developer, no one's going to ask them to solve it with a whiteboard. They'll probably be on their computer with access to Google, and I realize they're testing for just not innate knowledge, but what you currently possess. I guess it seems flawed, or not everyone's happy about that, but anyways. Not that I've experienced, I haven't even applied to any type of developer thing yet, so just from what I've seen on the internets, Greenberg, usually code interviews are like, you have 30 minutes to solve this algorithm. Right now, they are here. Here's a coding project. You have a week to finish and submit it to us. Okay, for what you're going through versus the 30-minute algorithm, you've got the week-long project interview thing. Alright. Greenberg, I think it's kind of weird. Interesting. Well, good to know that that's even a possibility. I really hadn't seen... All I had heard of is kind of the algorithm crisis mode, where they just toss you into the fire for about 30 minutes to an hour and you just have to make something out of it. Noted. I think that was a worthwhile tangent. Some career insight, that testing the waters. Thank you for that, McGreenberg. Now, what were we doing? We got sidetracked with humming, poor semicolon placement, and career insight in the world of developers. Right. Line 3. Memory dot, not has decimal, but decimal. Memory dot decimal. I think the fact that I can at least recall what variables I used is a good... It's not a huge sign, but I at least think it's a decent sign that this stuff has been sticking, despite following the guide pretty faithfully. It does... There is crap that's registering. I want that to be known. I think being able to remember whatever variable that we're occasionally using over the span of a few days without being too forgetful is an okay, decent sign of that. So just something I've noticed. The little things we look for. It is the little things we look for. With that said, I do want to verify that calculate is indeed our equation equivalent for our project. So let's go up to function calculate, return calculation, parse. Oh, I've got a bad feeling about this. I think calculate was a variable. Come on. Where was it? Was it... Okay, no, it wasn't. It was function calculate. It was function calculate. So function equation will have the calc parameter. Oh, it's equals, you slimy bad Steven, as I'm saying it. We remember things. We remember parts of it. Damn. Alright. We got the EQUA part. We botched the landing. Of course we did. LS equals parse calc memory. I do know that it is dot decimal though, because that's at the top. That is at the top, right around here. Decimal false. See that? So half credit. More like 1.5. 1.5 credit. Let's move on. Let's move on. Back into the Fury. La da 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 dee dee dee. Calculate memory. As decimal else. Time to get Elsie. Boom. And curliness. 1 and 2 and 3 and curl. Wait. Did I do it in the right spot? Yes, this else is nested within the primary if. Good. Just checking. What was it, a day or two ago? We had some serious alignment issues. I think it was mostly due to the indentation was off, and that was throwing our perception of where things fell. Memory. That's not how you spell it. Memory.log plus equals value semicolon so append the value to the log if the user did not click an operator. Show the current input value. So we have else here. There is a lack of curly braces. Where does this curly brace continue on? Gotta be somewhere around here. We're gonna find it. Son of a bitch. That's else there. That's else here. If you go all the way to... Aha. No. Else. There's this else. Oh my god, it goes all the way down here. Line 242 is what connects to line 207. So we've got a lot of crap that's going to be fitting within here. So if that's the case, let's go ahead and space this out. And let's just give it some room to breathe. Alright, glad we checked. Log. So we have another gauging from the indentation, a mostly primary if, with a couple if-elses sandwiched between it, followed by another else if, and then it gets all wrapped up on line 242. Cool. Continuing on, if... La-da-dee-dee, la-da-da-da, dee-da-dee-dee, dee-da-dee-da, stack of... Where? Which line? I realize it ends on 242, but where is Steven in the scheme of the universe? Aha! There we are. Line 212. They thought they lost us. Not... So if it's not contains operator, not contains operator, value, cool, make sure the first character in the answer is not 0. We can definitely do that. We can nest another if statement like so. Memory, curliness, memory dot answer dot toString dot character at 0 equals 0. We've got kind of a lengthy one too. String dot character at death. Typical. Don't mind me. Make a note of the time we keep encountering the stuff. 7 la da da dee 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 la da da dee 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 lee dee 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 dee. What am I looking for? We were sidetracked. Right over here, character at 0. Crap. 0. 1, 2, 3. Like so. Stringiness. 0 for you. Double ampersand to balance out the universe. Not memory dot decimal. Wow, 3 nested ifs, but this is the last level. From this part of the inception, we will start working our way back up out of the dream worlds. Cool, cool. So this is as deep as we're going into this particular rabbit hole. If... and it gets much more simplified inside of it, relatively speaking. Value, so if... crap, where is the lack of parentheses? Variable, no, value. Wait, variable check. Did I do stray variables? We are in a constant and let universe only from here on out. We're good? We're good. We're golden. We're golden. Everything's great. Stringiness filled with a tiny, tiny decimal, followed by memory.answer equals 0. Oh. Memory.answer equals 0, period. Aha. Decimal. I think. I mean, there's a minor possibility that's a typo, but it just seems very out of place for that to be a typo. We're gonna go with our spidey senses on that, and I assume that's exactly as it should be. Memory.log equals memory.log.slice. I love slice. We haven't used slice in forever. From 0 to memory.log.length minus 1 plus decimal. Else memory.answer value. So cool. We are concatenating the value on concatenating the decimal on the fly. The value went there. Memory dot answer. Wait a second. Am I missing a step? No, I'm not. I'm not. It was just me. I took a moment to reflect and I forgot. Damn my perpetual forgetfulness. Oh dear God, that's not what we want. That doesn't make any sense. That needs to be a 0. Dot log. Equals memory dot log dot slice. I just could never remember if it was slice or splice that got rid of the data. One of them ends up returning what was removed, I think, and the other method ends up returning what wasn't removed. It's kind of strange in how we used to be far more familiar and well versed on our go-to JavaScript methods during our Code Wars days. But it's been a while, and we've forgotten, sadly. Speaking of sadly, what line am I looking at? 217. 217 indeed. We've got 0, followed by memory.log, memory dot, damn it, typo. Memory.log, followed by dot length. There's a whole bit to this. Minus 1. Nope, not a comma. Plus stringiness decimal. Semicolon. We're doing good. Not great, but we're not crying into the keyboard, so that's a step up. That is a step up for our standards. Do I add in curly braces? More curly braces? We always need more cowbell. Memory dot answer equals value. Memory dot answer. Wait a second. Did I have a dot answer? I did. I did have a dot answer. God, I hope I had a dot answer. It was either dot answer or dot total. Not O, 0. Big difference. Did I do O or 0 before? I did 0. Thank God. What does a capital O look like? Yeah, no. There we go. No line between it. Or through it. La da da dee 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 dee. Lee dee 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 dee. Wait a second. No. I'm crazy. I was looking at the if above it, but over here. See that? Bad Steven. Needs to be value. That's what it is. Cool. Crisis. Not quite averted yet. This. Else. That belongs to this. Here is where we are progressing. This brings us back out to our secondary if statement. So we've got well, technically we're 2D. It doesn't matter. Just focus here. Don't lose our train of thought and scope of where we are working. Remain focused. Remain calm. Good, good, good. Now, we are continuing on. So, if the last button clicked was an operator, we will do the following. If contains math operator, math.log.memory, log length -2. Otherwise, set the answer to the value clicked. Memory.answer equals value. Following that, otherwise, just append the value to the current answer. Math.answer plus value. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Cecilectomy. Hey, how you doing, Cecil? Looking at the source. Kind of technically yes and no, but not 100%. Cecil threw in the towel. Again, yes and no, not quite. I wish that stupid JavaScript JS wait. Is that helping anybody? No, it's not. There is a how do I change and nope, sack of shit. There's a way to do this. If I click run, what happens? Point being, this is a secondary calculator. I'm struggling moving over, but Topher saw how much I was struggling trying to recreate this one because I will not look at the source code for these specific projects. He came up with a clever workaround and ended up making, there's a whole second, well, let's see from your perspective, a whole second calculator to the right side of this screen, an even more simplified one. And this is sort of a different breakdown for the code. And we've been using this as a guide that we've become rather familiar with over the last couple days, but it was only after like 10 or 11 days of struggling with the first one, just bashing her head into the monitor and against the keyboard. I think he sensed the imminent lack of progress for our foreseeable future, and decided to throw us a bone, which we are definitely appreciative of. So we're currently working through this. So only by Topher's assistance and sending us this guide our way, have we decided to follow it. We were doing something. There was an else in our future, right? Could have sworn there was. Cecil, gotcha. Yes, exactly. Yeah, we wouldn't have made the jump behind the scenes. No looking behind the curtain. Without proper clearance first. That's crazy talk. That's what protocol's for. Now, speaking of protocol, what the hell comes next? We had our primary if stuff. We made it through this. Memory.answer equals value. Not -2, but up here. Memory.length dot else. Right, we were building this out. We were building out this part of our code. Else, if curliness contains math operator, which is for our little universe, contains operator only. Followed by memory dot log memory dot log brackets, not curly braces, brackets. Memory dot log dot length. Yes. Ooh. Memory dot answer equals value. Perfect. Alright, we are moving onwards. Else goes here. This is good. I don't think we've lost track or sight of our curly braces, which is nice. Memory dot answer plus equals son of a bitch. No, we didn't get lost. I thought we got lost for a second, but we didn't. We didn't. The universe is still fine. Okay, okay. What's happening? What is happening? Who's on first? Memory dot answer. Value. There we go. Golden. That's else. This is the follow-up to else. No. Yes. No? Yeah. Else to else. This portion is the next bit. Here. 233 brings us to that. Lie die die dee 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 dee. My spidey senses tell me something is awry. I smell death. What to do? What to do? Greenberg. Well, this is BDX, not the Bengals NFL team. Have they been struggling like me? I haven't been keeping attention, or, been paying attention. Now... Oh... Sack of death. This connects to that. Yeah, good. This goes here. That's cool. We've got one if with memory and else. We've got one if with memory and else. That checks out. We have else with its memory. Else with its memory. The secondary one. Oh, you know what it is? It's right here. It's this. I don't know why. It didn't register. It didn't register. That's what this is. It's right there. We're good. We're good. Don't mind me, everybody. Crisis averted. Minor lapse. What is the time? 27:42. What is that? That comes out to like 15 minutes. We'll set a 14-minute timer. When we clear that, it'll be like waiting for a bus. Minute. Clear that, start that. Back into action. Back into chat. McGreenberg, no. Oh, they threw in the towel last week. Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. That's on point. That is continuing our theme. You know, at some point you gotta come to terms with reality. And we're happy to do that. We have gotta come to terms with reality. Equals infusion value 123 decimal. Da da dee 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 dee. La da 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 dee. La da dee 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 dee. These are a few of our favorite indexes. Or, so it's either value equals a decimal. So we've got memory dot decimal will equal, after all of this noise, we have memory dot decimal value equals decimal, or memory dot answer dot index of, not a capital F, just lowercase, ordinary lowercase, decimal, nope, does not equal -1. Yeah, good times, good times. Semicolon, followed by that, followed by else. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Oh, we're getting there. We are right on the edge of piecing this together. So from here, this portion, so we had the initial if. Where does that fall into line? It's, yeah, the initial if. If does not contain math operator, or for ours more specifically, if it does not contain operators, makes its way through here, else if the user did not click an operator, show the current input value, make sure the first character in the answer is not 0, then if the last button was clicked, then if the last button clicked was an operator, set the answer to the value clicked, otherwise just append the value to the current answer, or, well, not or, but else, check if the last operator changed, i.e. from plus to minus. Okay, we can do that. We can definitely do that. And then from there, the last little bit is send the output to the screen. Ta-da! We've been working towards this very moment for days on end now. I think the better part of at least 2 weeks. It has to have been at least 2 weeks on this frickin' project. I think that's some kind of record. Not the kind of record you want to set, but a record nonetheless. So we'll take what we get. If contains operator, memory log dot character at memory dot -2. Wow, really? 3? Oh, because I'm an idiot and I missed. I was like, why are there 3 parentheses? Well, because you missed it entirely. That's why there's 3 parentheses. Forgetful son of a bitch. Where is the 2? Who is in control of this ship? Oh my god. We are in serious need of a mutiny. I mean, it is high time for a mutiny. Compared to Captain Bligh, this is beyond alarming. Hold the phone. We didn't even get it in the... Oh my god. The frustration. It's growing. Is it near midnight? Or not near midnight. Oh my god. Every stream starts at midnight. Is it near 1 a.m.? And yes, it is indeed. We're inching ever closer, second by second. It is 0:48 or 12:48 a.m., depending on your preferred time scale. 48 minutes of sheer doom. Now, we want to take all of this noise, like so, but ram it into here. There we go. That gets us our 3 closing parentheses. Inside of all of that fun, we have the following. memory.log. You know, anyone who's survived this calculator stream after it's all said and done deserves a medal. I think it's almost to the point where when it comes time, we will need to have a calculator emote. The calculator from hell. Alright, here we go. Here we go. .log memory. .log. .slice. Dum 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 dum. Ah, for the different bits badges, we can have them as the different projects. We can have a coin for the coin toss for lower level bits, and then don't they have different bit badges for the chat? So like the more bits you give, they change, and then we can have the magic 8-ball calculator emote. We'll have to work on that. I'll have to work on that. I need to. This is all the kind of stuff that will come after we hit the year mark. There's not supposed to be any celebrating during the year mark. We were not supposed to hit Twitch affiliate back in October. No one's supposed to be using bits. All of that awesomeness, despite how great it is, was not expected in our original plan for the first year. It was supposed to be suffering, needless confusion and suffering for a year straight. And then when we introduce some slightly more reasonable content that's not so ungodly mind-numbing, cooler things would start to happen. But somehow our tiny ship has managed to not completely sink to the bottom of the ocean. We're not floating at the surface, but we didn't hit rock bottom as early as I thought we would have. And what were we doing? Mine, something? I'm seeing letters and I'm just typing wildly into the abyss. Memory.log, right, this 0, memory .log .length -2 as well. Outside of it, plus value. So what is exactly occurring? So check if the last operator changed, i.e. from plus to negative, for example. So if the symbol changed, okay. So if contains math operator, we have memory.log.character at memory.log length -2. Whatever the last one is, -2. So it's not the last character, it's the second to last character. If the second to last character contains a math operator, math log will equal, it will be updated to math.log slice from 0 from the beginning of the log to whatever the length is -2, and then plus the value. Alright, I just wanted to visualize where exactly the data we were editing, updating, manipulating, whatever your preferred term is, phrase, that's what was going on. So from here we have memory this next to else. This next to else, because we added a bunch of space in the beginning. Good. If else. No need to space that out. Memory has decimal. Just decimal. Almost decimal. I sincerely hope we don't have that typo anywhere else. Decimal. Crap, we can't spell it all. That's decimal, which is not a thing. Decimal. There we go. Holy hell, we can barely spell. Thank God we're nearing the end of this. Decimal false. Keep it together, Steven. Keep it together. Our mind is fraying. We're gonna make it through this nightmare. La da 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 da. Dee 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 dee. So that is the end of else, which it is. What does this connect to? This connects us to else up here. That. What the hell does that connect us to? Hey, this connects there. This is supposed to do something. Aha! Else up here. The else after false. Is that true? Is that accurate? That's not right. Here, that's the false we were looking at. It's this guy. It is. Has decimal false. This else here is tied to this else down there. Perfect. Beautiful. We survived. Somehow. We need two of those next to each other. With a space. Wait. Did I read it wrong? Crap, I lost it. No, that's good. It's so hard for me to keep my mind focused and straight, visualizing all of this. Even with the guide. Okay, now we're sending the output to the screen. We have these two, followed by stuff in one line. Here is stuff. Yeah, we're gonna type it out. Let's not mix up the issue. Screen.update. Do I have it as screen? Oh, death. Wait, yes, we do have it as screen. I do. Yeah, we've got screen.clear. We've got screen.clear. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Screen.clear. No, not screen.clear. That would result in sadness and sorrow, and the whole village would just go up in flames. It would be absolutely terrifying. Lie die die dee 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 dee. Suhin, I just realized you're trying to figure out the program flow and take several days to do that. How about you learn using debugger for this? That would also probably be a good course of action. That would probably be very beneficial. Right, yeah, Suhin. I just realized you're trying to figure out the program flow and take several days and have taken several days to do that. How about you learn using debugger for this? That would be cool. I'm not sure or familiar or really know of what is the whole like debugging process. What counts as debugging? Is there a difference between when it throws an error like this versus when I just notice a mistake, let's say for a method? I'm sure this would 2 periods would cause an issue, but I don't know. I mean, what counts as a bug type error? Yeah, what sort of errors count as a bug, and when does it count when you're changing your code as debugging? Is that a thing that you just do on the fly, like proofreading an essay, or is it a special view? Is there something I need to like click on in the console to go into like a debug mode? That whole portion of the developing process has kind of eluded me. No one's No one's explained that. Code Academy or Free Code Camp or anything. Code Wars. There hasn't been a Flexbox Froggy for debugging, if you will. So I was just kind of curious on what exactly that qualified. What does that even mean? I want to know, so that would be super. Suheen, good with a quick course even. All right, brief story time via Suheen. Okay, so we have Suheen, quick course. Open the source code in the console. Yes. We've got our source code. Does this work? God, I hope that works. Although that's not really the console. Here's the console. Well, we'll see. We'll get there. Maybe we can even crack open another page entirely, like GitHub, and look at the source code. That could work. Inspect. We'll do that. This is probably a better example. Console. So this is GitHub we're looking at. A lot of red, but we'll keep reading. So, quick course, open the source code in the console. Click on the line number, which sets a breakpoint where the code execution will stop. Pretty sure I missed a step. Continuing on. Oh, sources? Well, let's keep reading. Click on the line number, which sets a breakpoint where code execution will stop. After stop, you'll be able to execute step by step and see all values. Suheen, always resort to this debugging when you don't understand how and when functions are called. When console log is not sufficient enough. Okay, which is, I think, and that was also kind of probably, we were doing console log for so many things, especially duplicates. Console log is basically, I don't know if it's a good example, but checking the pulse of our code as the data would cycle from one function, get passed to another, stuff would happen, and then I'd drop console log somewhere to have whatever value appear in the console, like so. That's sort of what I was doing to check its pulse, to see if we could register anything. But anyways, continuing on. Execute step-by-step value. Always resort to this debugging when you don't understand how and when the functions are called. When console log is not sufficient enough, there should be a tab for source, or it's called debugger. Well, let's see. Console. There's sources. That crazy talk. Maybe. I may just be too slow and confused. Dee 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 dee. La da 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 dee 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 dee. View dee 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 developer. There's view source. Maybe I should do view source. However, I see no additional tabs. Although you said per line there was something. Should be sources for you, I guess. Make the console more wide or on the bottom. Can't we shift this? We can make it more wide. Ta-da! Lie-di-di-di-di-di-di-di-di-di. In the sources window, there are loaded scripts to the left. One of them has calculator code. Oh, looking behind the curtain. I don't know, man. I know we're looking behind this curtain, but this is a separate calculator. Dum dum. Dum dum. You can also try search. That could work. I like that as well. We can search. Here, wait, hold on. You know what? Let's examine the beauty of Flexbox Froggy for this. Flexbox Froggy. One, mainly because it's so much more visually fascinating than simply a calculator. So if I were to dive into, we can close out of that. We can even close out of this. Okay. Flexbox Froggy. If I want to check source code for that, we would go to View, Developer, View Source, not View Source, you blithering idiot. Oh. D, View, Developer, JavaScript console for starters. Okay. So not elements. Could be console, could be sources, huh? Sources? Yeah. Good, good. Oh, for the one... Oh, for my calculator. Interesting. You can also try... you're looking at HTML source when you should look for JavaScript code, which you're writing. We can do that. We can do that. Inspect. Sources. Drag it all the way over. I didn't think my code was up to snuff as an even option to gauge the following files. Why is it not available? Oh, is it because I have to save? It's because I have to save, don't I? I have to save. We'll close out of this. Save, save, save. We're still mid-screen. Let's not forget that. Save, save, save. Click. Refresh. Inspect. Sources up top. What the deuce? Why is there no JavaScript file present? What is this confusion I've stumbled across? Bad, Steven. Dum 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 dum. In the sources window, there are loaded scripts to the left. One of them has calculator code. You can also try search. You're looking at HTML source when you should be looking for JavaScript code, which you're writing. You could just try that in your calculator page. It's the most simple. Good point. And you're doing that now. Awesome. Chances are it doesn't work because you're loading it with file protocol. Oh. It's forbidden. That's okay. Maybe it's a sign. We'll just come to terms with it, but notice. So it is a process to look at. And I feel like I'm, now that I think about it and reflect on what you have mentioned, I don't know if it was Code Academy or Free Code Camp, but I could have sworn one of them did briefly discuss debugging, not at a super advanced level or even in a very detailed one, but there was a minor debugging section. God, I'm on a blank on where that was. Anywho, either way. Suhin, quote, if you insist on using Chrome, it it'll have some command line flags to allow access to/from local originated files, allow file access from files, disable web security, quoted from Firefox, Stack Overflow. Most beginners overlook debugger and then waste much more time than they should, unfortunately. Me too, or me included. I do your description is, now that I'm just trying to reflect, going through the process, physical activity of trying to find it. I think it was, I almost want to say it was Codecademy. Codecademy did have a couple courses where they have you do things and it is sort of outside of the Codecademy environment. Free Code Camp also has a couple courses, actually quite a few, primarily for their projects. In fact, it's far more consistent, but larger tasks. Codecademy had smaller courses where they reference third-party activities or sources outside of the Codecademy environment, and it was probably one of those external activities where they have you engage with the debugger of sorts and come to terms with it at a very, very basic level. Just a brief notion of a memory that I slightly recall. Anyways, with that said, let's go ahead and tackle. We are right there towards the end. We've been working all this way up until this very last point. So let's go ahead and throw in the final bits. Update as our guide basically comes to an end. It got us up to speed, up and running. If we need to do any substantial refactoring, modifying, adding, removing things, we now have the general understanding and mindset on how to pull that off. Hey, Glowstorm. How you doing? Hopefully life is going well. McGreenberg should use simple dev server instead of accessing from root file. Is that a thing? Suheen quote, Python m simple HTTP server 80. Is that like something I should Google via quotes, or that just like that's a known thing, the go-to choice? What are we doing? We are updating memory dot answer followed by log. Memory.log. Epic, so that's one line down, followed by, oh, return true. Good, beautiful. Followed by return false. Okay. Do keep in mind, there is a 97% chance that we have probably forgotten something. So, look at this, see? There's even a semicolon that should be here. I'm glad we caught that. Let's go ahead and save. Alright. I think that is as good as we're going to get for now. If there is a hilarious amount of errors to any degree, we can save all that fun for tomorrow. Glowstorm TV, doing great. Awesome. Glad to hear it. How are you? We are doing well, hopefully. Let's find out how well we're doing after following our secondary guide through this long, confusing adventure of calculator hell. So, we've saved our JavaScript. Let's crack open inspect. Wow, let's restore some of this back to something a little less hilarious. That's line 217, which is understandable. This should be about 600 pixels. Cool. What is line 217, just out of curiosity? At that point, there was confusion, but now we're set. We've saved. We still need to refresh our page. And where are the errors? Holy sh... After days on end of following this guide, we don't have any errors currently present. So we're doing awesome. To answer your question, Glowstorm, we're doing pretty damn good. We do need to actually test our calculator with some button clicks, but as of now, happy to see there's no errors after 3 or 4 days. McGreenberg, I normally use the Webpack dev server or browser sync, but the Python one works too. Noted. Noted indeed. Alright, so Python stuff or Webpack dev server. Awesome, awesome. Okay, okay. So we did check that, we refresh it, and if I click a button, does anything happen? Oh, developer gods, please let this work. Aha! It did something. I got a 1 to register. Don't mind the scary error following it. But still, there is a 1. There's also a 2, and a 3, and it registers the plus button, and 4. Okay, okay. Now, what do I need to do? There's a couple things that I've totally botched because of the following. It seems to be the same lines referenced for all of the code. Line 76. Reference operators is not defined. Son of a bitch. The fact that operators is capitalized. Is that throwing stuff off? Line 76. Where is line? We're in the 100s. We're in the 100s indeed. 76. Operators. Operators. La da da da. D D D D. Dum 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 dum. Dum 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 dum. There is no operators anywhere. There's math operators. You're right. You know, I had a dilemma regarding that. So it needs to be math operators. That's our issue. So line 76 there. We can verify also in the guide just above parse calc. We are on the hunt. We are on the hunt. Log is empty, clear, other functions. No. Where is it? Where is it? We're gonna find it. Parse calc math operators. That's what it was. Now, why didn't we have... Do we want to keep math operators or just operators? Damn. No. I just highlight this. Operators. Command D. So it's just those two. We'll leave it as math operators. We will. We'll leave it as math operators. It's going to be fine. The universe will keep on spinning. It'll be great. From there, we also have... Oh my god, I clicked on something. Bad, Steven. No. What did I do? Ah, gosh. God, I'm in a loop. I'm in a loop of sadness. What do I do? What do I do, guys? Close out of that. Be better than the console, Steven. Be better than the console. Line 76 has been dealt with. Line 160. Is calc value valid? Line 160. Why is there beef on line 160? Let's find out. If you smell beef on line 160, it's probably for the following reasons. Contains operator... No, is calc valid? Is calc value valid? Simple calculator. Not sure what I should be looking for. Is it telling me it doesn't like line 60? Topher did mention that we could modify it. Instead of going through the is log, blah blah blah, we could end up doing... I think it was not, to some degree. Have to check. Means operator. You know what, let's just refresh this. Let's see what we currently get. So, damn, line 76 is still there. But we changed... Oh, I didn't save it. What a rookie move. Save. Refresh. Click. There's that. Okay, we killed off... Oh, and that was a continuing error that affected other ones. Line 160 is not even an issue anymore. So now we're down to line 191. This is a separate beast entirely. Line 191, which is a part of today's stuff that we were doing, so that's cool. So line 191, type error, cannot read toString of unidentified at object append as input. Well, calculator 191. We very well could have totally missed what we needed to enter there. There's a lot of getting sidetracked, even in the very beginning. Where is it? La da da dee 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 dee. Append calc value blah not. No, we've got the not. Not contains if memory answer to string. Emptiness. Character at 0 is equivalent to 0 and not memory.decimal. It says it's undefined. Well, value equals blank, memory.blah. Maybe it's the period. The decimal? I don't think it is. Could be, but I don't think it is. Memory.log slice 0, log.length, followed by the rest of that noise. What to do? Let's look at the error again. $191, $234. Cannot read toString. Did I spell it incorrectly? toString? Maybe I need to put stuff inside toString? Is that the issue? I should put something inside toString, shouldn't I? Maybe not. La da dee 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 dee. La da da dee 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 dee. Object toString. Yeah, see, you just drop it in. O.toString. It just does... It does stuff. You don't even have to put things in it. Look at that. Blah blah blah. .toString. Isn't that what I have? .toString. Ta-da. Dee 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 dee. What is their issue with line 91? Memory.answer. .toString. Character at 0 equals 0 and memory.decimal. You know, I don't think we have the brain power to successfully navigate this at 1:23 in the morning. Cannot read property. Undefined. Line 191. What to do? What to do? Okay, so there's also at HTML div element handle click line 234. What nightmare is happening on 234? There's this. It doesn't like reading that? I thought it was fine. I don't think there's an issue. I think they're just confused. Morbid coder. What error? Morbid coder. That's saying that memory.answer is undefined. Ah, right. Okay. Okay, so since it's not defined, I need to define it. So what should I do from here? Oh dear God. I think I should figure this out tomorrow. That's what I think. So wait, look at where memory is defined. Okay, we can do that. Memory. Ta-da. We've got technically initial memory here. So let memory dot object assign starts off as an empty object targeting initial memory, and it pulls all of initial memory's fun. Total 0 dot log decimal reset and then from there memory gets referenced when needed. Memory.log.length. Or where else do we have it? I'm sure it'll jump out at us. I'm probably passing a handful of them. Memory.log.length, memory.reset, memory.decimal. Here, though, we are, I think if I understand it correctly, establishing memory.answer equals this. Memory.log, and it gets parsed. And then once it gets parsed, we take those values and it starts to do the equation, and we're updating it. So from there, we continue tinkering with memory.answer on line 191. So it's memory.answer to string. So whatever all this noise equals, back to a string, and then character at blah is supposed to equal 0 and not a decimal. Theoretically. I think I'm reading that relatively okay. Could be off by a bit, but when in Rome. Morbid coder, Morbid coder. Oh, you're actually not defining anything. You need to add answer to initial memory. Oh, you know what? I actually think that probably has come back to haunt me. I think at a certain point, yeah, there was... Bad Steven. Bad Steven. We aren't using answer. I mean, we are using that thing, but we aren't actually using answer in ours. I think our answer is total. We forgot on the last one. Answer is supposed to be total. Rookie move. God damn, I'm gonna have to sleep in the hall for like 4 days for that one. Oh my god, 2 days with no food and 4 days of sleeping in the hall. That's gonna fucking suck. Why would I forget that answer is changed to total? No. Bad Steven. Rookie move. Good eyes. Good eyes, Morbid. Damn. Alright, well, let's do Control D. Answer in all of its forms and fashions from this point simply need to be converted to... That's all of them. Or all of the code, thank God, to total. Ah, ridiculous. At least it is relatively easy to correct. So, can I just do total? Ta-da! D. God, I hope that works. Alright, from the top. Save. Thank you, Morbid, for that. It would have taken us forever to crack that. Refresh. No errors, but it's when we click a number and clickety-clack. Ta-da! Don't mind the 11. 12. Okay, there's a little... That's me on how things are manifesting. Not to say that stuff needs to not be changed. But we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Mostly, this is a work in progress. So we've got an issue with... What is that? Right, with the update stuff? How it is connecting. I want to keep chipping away on this, but I know my mind is so shot after being 130. I know these are all minor issues to tag and address, especially because we've got all of this stuff in place now. Death. I want to keep pushing forward, but I know with my feeble state of mind after 1:31 a.m. we need to, for the safety of the villagers, we need to land this bird as soon as possible, because it's just, we're gonna burn up on fumes and it's gonna be a terrifying impact for all involved. Let's save this. I think Morbid's catch was essential and good for the answer versus total fiasco. Hey, Kosi, how you doing? How you doing indeed? We're getting there. We're holding on. Hopefully you're doing quite well, Kosi. Close out of that. Let's do push this to GitHub. It's definitely not, it's far from perfect, but we are getting there. Our calculator is back to a quirky level of operation, which is better than dead. So, what am I looking for? GitHub. We're looking for GitHub, as we are every day. La-da-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Going into OBS, cracking open the desktop app. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Alright, so... what did we do today? Today we finished... I want to say finished. Finished is a strong word. Updated. Refactored. Added more iffiness. Added more iffiness. There we go. Ta-da! B-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Added more iffiness. I couldn't think of a more accurate statement than that. Commit to master. We're pushing. Resolving deltas. Closing out of that noise. Back into OBS. Clear out that as we verify. The bird has landed. Updated 10 seconds ago. Hot damn. Alright, 20 seconds. Beautiful, added more iffiness. You know, we should have done it. We should have done an eye. You should have done an I. No, Y is okay. We've got the hyphens. Let's back out of this nightmare. We can continue the battle tomorrow. Thank you again to anyone and everyone who stopped by to view the stream and or assist. Today we had McGreenberg, as well as C-Selectomy, Suheen, Glowstorm TV, as well as Morbid Coder and Kosi. Also, to anyone else who may have accidentally stumbled in here to view the stream, any and all views are greatly, greatly appreciated. Day 354 comes to an end. However, the adventure continues tomorrow with day 355 of the year of streaming and learning to code. 10 days left. Holy hell. Alright. 10 days left. Are you sure you want to stop the stream? Hell yeah. Let's do this. Kill it!